Hello, everyone. Welcome to Spiritual Sunshine. Today, we're going to dive into how the prophecies that Jesus told about the Son of Man and even prophecies about Jesus all relate to humanity. That those prophecies about the Son of Man weren't just about him being crucified or going through trials as he said the Son of Man would do. It was also about humanity, and even the resurrection of the Son of Man and his own resurrection were precursors to our resurrection into the Spirit, into divinity, into our angelic nature that is beginning now. Stay tuned. Now, I say beginning now just to get a little hook into you because it's been going on for a while. Our transformation, our regeneration into divine humanity, into part of knowing that we're one with God. The 18th century mystic, Emanuel Swedenborg, he said that angels, who he believed were just dead people and dead aliens, he wrote a lot about aliens. We've had some videos on that if you want to learn more. He believed that angels were dead people, just knew that everything that they did, all their gifts, even the structure of their bodies, the functionality of it was not only from God, but symbolic of God's nature, symbolic of how love in the form of will works. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And so all the prophecies from Christ about the Son of Man, well, first of all, he's saying the offspring of humanity. He's saying the Son of Man. People now just assume he was only talking about himself, but he never said that. He said the offspring of humanity will go through trials. I don't know about you, but I've been through some trials. I think humanity in general is going through a lot of trials, most of which we have no inkling of if you think about it. You may think you know what someone went through when they went through X, Y, Z, but you don't know what it's like. We don't know what all of us are going through. It's so much, right? Especially in a time of trial, rampant abuse in many parts of our society, a structure of domination in a lot of our governments. I don't know what country you're coming out of, but there's often abuse of power. There's often just mistreating others because we think we're separate. We think we're not one in this whole game of things, this universe, this whatever you want to call it, very serious business. We think we're not one when in actuality we rely on each other. Otherwise, we wouldn't have roads. Let's just start there. Wouldn't have roads. Okay? Wouldn't even be cleared to walk through in a lot of areas that have really strong brush, right? A lot of trees, etc. So that's like a very little part, and we're already relying on each other already. Because I mean, do it yourself. Imagine that you had to do that just to get out of your place. You had to start hacking down stuff. Had to find food, find a good water source, let alone raise yourself, from a baby. It's ridiculous, right? We are one. Like an organism has many parts, many cells. If there's a consciousness in the body, or if there's consciousness in bacteria, it doesn't know it's part of a body. My good bacteria doesn't really know. I'm helping out Corey right now, doing the good work for the Corey. No, it's just doing good work. It helps. It promotes. Even the more harmful stuff helps us learn, helps us grow. We wouldn't be humans evolutionarily without any trial. There'd be no reason to evolve. That's the definition of getting better. There has to be something to get better too. I want more food. Oh, got better, etc., right? And so the prophecies that Christ told, even in his own words, were about what's coming for humanity, the offspring of our race. What's coming? He said, a lot of trials, a lot of persecution. When the Son of Man speaks truth, he'll be hurt for it. He won't be listened to. He'll be put on a cross. Now, that was perhaps literally true for Jesus, but I think we can see the connections for us today. I say perhaps because not all of us believe in Christ or that Christ died on the cross or what have you. It's not really my business. I don't need you to believe anything, just like I won't make myself believe anything. But structurally in the gospel, it makes a lot of sense. These prophecies are about himself, but also about humanity. But not just the bad stuff. Although, if you look up the term Son of Man, it tends to be some hard stuff. But also the resurrection. The resurrection. Right now, you could say the spirit of truth with humanity has been dead, but it might be waking up. You get what I'm saying? It might be resurrecting. We might be on the up and up. We might be going that way, hopefully. Now, some elements have to fall away, and what is falling away? Well, it's going that way. But it's not our business if evil perspectives have a hard time. It's not my business, to police that either. Really, within every being that has both the ups and the downs is a consciousness that perceives it. And that consciousness doesn't have as many opinions as your mind does. We say we don't like something because something happened to us. It reminds us of that thing. We may not even remember it, but our consciousness just receives that thing. So there's prophecies about humanity. And not only in the term Son of Man, but also how Jesus lived and how Jesus pointed to eventually everyone being not only resurrected, but saved by the Son of Man. So John 3:16, we all know it. It's a pretty popular one. For God so loved the earth that he gave his only begotten Son, so that all who believed on him shall live and never see death, essentially. Now, we know this, right? And we apply it very limitedly to what we call Jesus, but Jesus didn't see himself limitedly, did he? No, Jesus was not, he wasn't talking that way anyway. He said he was the way. I think that ends at his flesh. That's everything, the way, the truth, the life. But he didn't disqualify others from perceiving that in themselves either. He didn't say, well, the Buddha is a liar. He didn't say, oh, have you heard of Advanta, or, the Devas, the Vedas, all the ancient scripture, the Epic of Gilgamesh, wisdom keepers, the monks in Tibet, the monks between here and India. That's not who he criticized. He criticized those who use religion to dominate. He criticized those who added law upon law upon law, called the Pharisees in the Bible at least, in his locale, that were misusing truth to control others, to condemn others. Does that sound like any part of us that you know? What part of us does that? It's the part that often takes our religion as so sacrosanct that everyone else is going to hell, right? And not only that, but a lot of those who are also that have got it totally wrong. And you're worried about them too, but at least they believe in Jesus. But not only that, but if you're gay, or if you're this, or if you're that, you can't really be Christian if you live that way. You're going to hell if you are. Because you're not really Christian, because you're obviously not changing. I mean, it keeps going on, and we can do this for any religion. For Islam, we can do this. Even for certain sects in Buddhism. We can do this for people who believe in science, right? Oh, you don't believe in science if you believe in God. Oh my gosh. How could you? I'm a scientist, I can't believe in God. Oh, okay. Do you believe in China? Have you been there? Do Do you believe in Antarctica? Do you believe in the center of the earth or the moon? Oh, you just saw it though. It could be, have you proven it? I know someone else said they did. A lot of people say they saw God. A lot of people say they went to the afterlife. There's a lot of NDEs out there, near-death experiences, where people say they saw all kinds of stuff. But you're such an amazing scientist that only the things that you've proven you know. So you don't know any of those things. No, you don't. You believe in them. You believe in them, right? We believe this is material, and we're just starting to get to know it. So it's an amazing earth, but there's a part of each of us, whatever our tradition, of our minds that wants to have a hard time, wants to just stay in a very small bubble and reject everything else around them. But it's all good. Even that part of us that can be domineering with our religion and really hypocritical has a purpose. It's a foil, creates a pearl. The pearl is the true you. And it's actually already created, but it's becoming stronger through your tough situations, even through the judgmental mind. There's a reason why the Son of Man, the offspring of humanity, had to go through all these trials. And the trials are caused by what? Mind. By what mind? Our mind. And by what mind? Okay? It sucks. It sucks sometimes to have a mind that, behaves the way it does. But the beautiful thing is that we're not stuck there. Every second, it's a new opportunity to let go, to become peaceful, to not think that way anymore. I thought that way a second ago, yeah, whatever. My mind's ridiculous. Our minds are ridiculous. We're a small mind that's only gone through so much stuff in a country that's only been around for however long, in a world that's only been doing this for how long, in terms of civilization, in terms of economics, in terms of roads, the way we do them, in terms of everything, right? It's all fresh, all changes, and especially our minds change. And yet we can't help but take it so seriously. Oh, this is the way it is. Our minds are dumb. That's what this video should have been called. Our minds are dumb. Because we give them too much power. It's kind of like getting a puppy and saying, the puppy's everything. Everything the puppy wants is what I'm about. And you following the puppy around, helping it do everything it wants to do, what would it do? It would destroy a lot of things over time because you're never allowing your true self to really have a say, to help direct your mind, help direct your puppy. Your true self doesn't need to do it. That's why you haven't. You are so chill in actuality. Your highest self, which is here now, listening to this. Right now, it's you. It's the part of you that really hears this. The other things are just thinking about it, right? You're the one experiencing it. That's the high you. That's the highest you. It can never get higher than you experiencing it. However high the mind gets, whether it's, however you get there, you experience it. That's the true you, the high you. God experiences. Consciousness is the core of being. If there is a God, if there is a Buddha, if there is a you out there, you tell me, is there? It experiences, you experience. That's the true you. So that highest self doesn't need to impose itself. But at some point our minds have had enough that it starts to say, well, what about you, boss? That's what we're doing when we lean into spirituality. There's a part of our mind, the part that we still call I, me, that's like, wow, man, this has sucked. And I heard something about mindfulness. It might help. I heard something about consciousness. It's actually negative mindfulness in a sense. It's not mindfulness. It's consciousness. Less mind, more just being, just seeing. In fact, the mind can keep doing all it wants to do. But we come to learn to rest more in the fact that we are the one seeing. And we impose a little bit of our true will, which is peace. Christ was called the Prince of Peace for good reason, because Christ knew himself to be the way, the Tao, right? That's what the Tao means. The Tao Te Ching is a great book, free to listen to on YouTube, many different translations. The way, the truth, the life. He knew himself to be that. He didn't say, well, I'm this little way. Now, the Bible does say it's a narrow way to heaven. It's narrow. The heaven that's within you, Christ said heaven's within you, is narrow. The way there is narrow. How do you get to the center of you? You're already there. It's not much distance. In fact, there's none. The distance is imaginary. Your mind saying, I need to improve. The thing it needs to improve to is watching the mind say, I need to improve. That's a very small path to get from you back to you. It's very narrow, very small. I don't know what the Hebrew is. I didn't think about this beforehand, but I think it kind of fits, right? Even if it means literally narrow, it's a very small path. Or I guess it would be in Greek or Aramaic. But anyway, it's a small path to us. And it's the mind that has come up with all the things that are worrying you. It's the mind that comes up with all the reasons not to just remember yourself. But while your mind comes up with those things, you're there, watching. So, crazily enough, yes, I believe Jesus speaking about the Son of Man, the offspring of humanity, is about us. And you could say it's about our minds. The offspring of humanity, thing we made up, the Son of Man, the Son of Man, thing we made that we didn't really need to make. You don't have to make a kid. Thing we made, the mind, and all its conniving, the thing we employed instead of staying in that, flow state of the Garden of Eden, you could say, maybe. That thing we came up with, we built, will go through a lot. And I don't know about yours, but mine definitely has gone through a lot. And it will go through more. Until what? Till it's reached this breaking point. Till it's excruciating enough. Being on the cross of life, Christ said, carry your cross, pick up your cross and follow me. I'm not the first to make this a symbol out of the cross. Pick up the cross of life and follow me. And eventually we reach that point where it's the end. We're starting to see read the tea leaves and decide, okay, I'm letting this die. And we pick up that cross, we're going to be crucified, so to speak. But what did Jesus say? He didn't say, follow me with a cross to just carry a lot of stuff. He said, no, my burden is light. It's hardly anything. It's not weighing me down anyway. It's light. It's literally light, but it's also just light. The original meaning of that term was just, it's not heavy. The opposite of heavy, in fact. And yes, dying, letting that old idea of ourself, which is just the mind talking, not much unlike me talking right now, but, we all get paid for something, I guess. And letting that go, seeing that it's not really anything, it's always changing, it's the mind. finding the peace of Christ, the Prince of Peace. Anytime the mind says, I don't like what's going on, you say, you don't even think about it. Just said it. You don't need to talk up to it. Just let it go. Noting the beauty of just being alive. You're a being, a body, a human, an offspring of humanity. And you don't have to suffer anymore. That phase is done and we're on the up and up, heading upwards. And the part of us that's down can fall. You can let it go. Thank you. Peace to you.